Was a long-winded end to the first best of one of the evening, but it does go the way we expected. Nouns 13-10 on Mirage, and now a chance for M80 to mentally reset heading into Ancient. It's Pineapple, Phillips, and Boggs to bring you the action, and M80 to start things off on the T side. P250 Super Soldier for Malbs, Smoke Flash for Def, the coach, and Glocks with armor surrounding. No kit, but a set of dualies, a smoke, and a flash for the Nouns defense.
Damage taken, and the first kill goes the way of Nouns as Junior taps away and Malbs removed. A very critical piece of the M80 puzzle to take out of the Jenga tower. Junior adds a second one to his tally. First, the star rifler. Now the coach hits the dirt to the hands of the Nouns opper. His next trial is the analyst, and Stamina trying to come through Donut. Stamina backs away. And CJ eliminates Reck. Minor problem though, Nate. If you take a peek at the mini-map, there's a complete abandonment of the B site. It doesn't matter though. Bombs dropped in middle. And so Swisher's position now means nothing. If the bomb was able to escape to Snake, maybe there could have been a round out of it for M80, but now that the bomb is down, what can Mikey do? Maybe 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 if he's lucky, but time is not on his side. Numbers heavily stacked against him. And now they know exactly where he is.
Nouns went for the calculated stack towards A. They had a player lining up utility, a player to swing off contact, and a third boosted up towards the tree. If it was an A main play, it would have been stymied immediately. Well, it wasn't A main, it was Donut, and at that range, the USP reigns supreme, especially in Junior's surgical hands. 1-0 start for the Nouns defense. They will now invest. M80, not even close to a bomb plant. They're going to full save in this second round. That means blocks. Okay, we do have one investment. It's the Deagle for Malbs. But I feel like M80 are going to be hard-pressed to find anything in a round like this. I say that, Carson's caught by a Deagle immediately. Malbs must have pressed the smoke, gotten between the Molotov and said piece of equipment. And now Nouns' aggression might cost them. I say that, Junior finds a double. Malbs has done a lot of damage. George finds another. Junior caps off the round. It did look touch and go for a brief moment, but Nouns lock things in rather quickly. They will not pick up the FAMAS, so that is an unfortunate weapon to drop. But with 4 players surviving, they'll have a very solid bonus regardless.
Well, the amount of money Junior farmed over the last couple of rounds, he goes right for the big green gun. And it's a very strong weapon to use on the CT side of Ancient, and in Junior's capable hands, I'm sure he can move around the map very fluidly and take up multiple different positions. He'll start off going towards the A site solo. And Carson will be sprung down towards bottom middle again, takes 1 point of damage in the Molotov. Unknown if M80 heard him from that distance. But they're going to walk into Junior here, who needs a quick double. That's a fast shot. He'll drop the Molotov to stall. Has some help coming in from Tona, but Junior doesn't need it. Malbs tries to push, and he gets punished. Junior backs away with a pair. And M80 again stifled on the entry into A. And it's Junior, once with the USP and once with the big green, to slam the door in their faces. He's back in Temple, too, trying to make more sacrifices, but Def is going to back away from this one, and M80 stumbling about, dazed and confused. No response to Nouns or to Junior.
It's not even utility left for a take. It's just outright a hope, a prayer. The players got to press the issue, hope to find a pick off of their advanced positioning alone, but Nouns are pivoting around it incredibly well. The op of Junior will miss, and so it will finally be felled by Reck. We can now get a advanced position in towards CT spawn. Still a lot more required. CJ still back of sight. He'll find one. The second is known as well thanks to the Molotov. Swing from CJ allows for a double down. The last alive is Reck. He made his way back into the ruins, back into Temple. But he misses his first opportunity, and look at how Nouns have just pivoted around this problem player. They are all on A. They are all ready to stop him from recovering the bomb. And so they continue the tear. They won't even get the op. They'll just
They were
keep
looking
3
for it.
AKs. They were looking for it, but they even really need it. George can drop it if they really want it. He will do so. Still a 3-0, and again, a lack of a bomb plant. Hurts this T-side economy.
It really does hurt the T-side economy significantly. They're going to go for a half buy here with Tech 9's light armor on 2 players, so that's vest, no helmet. P250, Deagle, very minimal utility, and some good nade damage onto Swisher, and Malbs will also take some too. Swisher runs into Marky, but Marky cannot convert the spray. Swisher hits it with a drive-by. Will probably look to toss that over to Reck, somebody with armor. And a lot more than 5 HP would be ideal. Carson, however, picking up where he left off after a very strong Mirage, takes down 1, leveling it out at 4v4. The bomb's still very far removed. The pistol's playing in this little bait and switch angle. CJ spotted. Now he's got a couple to deal with. Takes out Swisher first. Has help from George. Flash goes high. It's not going to work. CJ's got them both. And he's going to continue tapping up onto Catwalk as Malbs has the salvaged rifle. George fires away and gets the last. A relatively clean round on the anti-half buy for Nouns. It's a 4-0 lead for them on the CT side. And this is more the Nouns that you and I have come to know and love in the North American scene, Nate. And the way Junior's been playing some of the best Counter-Strike I've seen him play in a very long time.
Yes, it is. He's finding his footing. He's finding his confidence again. I feel like the op has been changed back more so to what it was in Counter-Strike Go, or at least these players are getting comfortable with it like they were in CSGO.
I think the latter is more the case.
Probably. But still hitting shots, getting confident again. Where is he located this time around? Looks like middle. He's in Cubby. That is quite the spot to try and play, and he'll miss this opportunity. Malb starting things off. Carson trading, though, and he's a king of double kills. This round, no different. A second secured onto the coach of death. And what looked like a very promising opening onto the heavy hitter is now shut in their faces. Marky a third. Stamina finds 1. The analyst only good for that one. Last one is Reck. Bomb on his back at least. And a window, which he has found heading in towards B. But he mollies aside accidentally. The greebling on the wall bounces in some unforeseen physics. Even the young gun could do it all. Spam so punishing down to 35. There's just no way. He'll find 1. The Molotov nearly burns him out. Tap again to compel somebody forward. Just trying to get these duels. Giving it, but Marky wins it. The op too far to be recovered, but Nouns still a clean start. 5-0. And again, preventing the bomb plant. Hamstrings M80's economy. If they got that plant, their buy would be very solid, given their max loss bonus.
Yeah, this buy is slipshod at best. 3 Galils, 2 AKs. Utility is a bit sparse. Junior will probably not go over such an over-aggressive position again. That was overzealous. He got punished. Goes to show his confidence, though. How he bounces back from that will be interesting. Malbs eats a nade, and Swisher also takes some damage out on Snake, so it's not a great start here for M80 eating the early unconfirmed damage. Def going down to just under 3/4 of his health as well. Nouns getting more and more aggressive, more and more comfortable. Marky's got to be very careful around Cave, and he gets chased out because he got a little bit of an off angle against him and was getting damaged from an angle he couldn't see. The double nade goes in, but he's well evacuated the caves. As M80 continued to move around, CJ has picked up 1. Carson takes a dink, but he makes that play. Double man advantage again for Nouns here, looking to make it a little bit cleaner than the last one because their money now not so great. Carson, another double kill, looking to make it more. Swisher finally punishes, but they're going to aggress onto a Marky. Doesn't even need help. Wide swing, 1 tap, and Stamina, the analyst, in a 1v4. He had the ninja defuse, but this might be a little bit more difficult, especially as he gets tagged by Junior and then spammed by Marky. 6-0 start for Nouns. No response timeout-wise by M80. But Nouns are going to continue to hound their opposition now. Crank up the heat.
That's the thing. Nouns have a dizzying number of protocols and setups. They start the round off with a solid amount of map control. They press it, they probe with it, get the opening, and the key is they don't let off the gas. They're still grouped up. They continue pressure. They expand their map control and pivot around what the knows and the knows nots. And just play the map with a confounding amount of familiarity. It does truly feel suffocating for M80. They lose one, and then immediately they've lost all the map control around it. They do start things off right, at least in this round. Doubling down, in fact, as Stamina and Malbs both pass the initial tests. Junior finally offers a response over towards B. The issue is the plays towards A. Bomb migrating around. CJ, though, might have a solid timing through Red Room. M80. A half-buy victory like this would be massive for their confidence, but CJ, not going to give it away for free. He finds one, finds another, a third, a possibility, does damage, can't quite get it done, but he has tied up the footing. 2 versus 2, Junior and Marky. Both have rifles, both have AKs, in fact. Stamina only on a deagle still, and Swisher is low. Swisher finally dispatched, does good damage, though. This is very doable for the deagle. Stamina trying to take an aggressive angle, hoping to find an opening. A one-on-one, and he does damage, but he can't get across the line. Tap comes in from Junior. Stamina just desperately playing the bomb as best he can. Junior will tap the defuse, will stick the defuse, and Marky has his back. They're both low, a combined 11 HP, but it doesn't matter. They get across the line, they get a 7th, and they continue this flawless tear for the defense.
Great damage from M80, but just not close enough. That double from CJ salvaging the round, realistically speaking. If he just gets one through Donut, that 3v2 post plant becomes so much harder to unseat for M80. Even just Stamina was hard enough. And CJ, he gets 2 plus all of that damage. Well done from him. And really, you can't say there's been a weak point for Nouns on an individual level. Especially on this map. Mirage maybe a little bit. Swisher runs through the fire. He runs back into the fire and goes down to 12 HP. That's, I think, just desperation for Swisher.
And again, that's stifling map control. All of mid. Marky slipped out, finds the first.
Gosh.
Finishes deaf. Swisher. No, Stamina through the smoke. Finding Marky. CJ. Still maintaining an advantage. Swisher, though, despite the low HP, is still able to find one before falling. 3 versus 2 secured off of George. Stamina has an op. A lot to do. And reck as well. Being expected. Another miss for Junior. Maybe still some growing pains present for the op. As reck, he does well in these clutch situations. It just feels like it's more often than not too far gone for him to come back into it. Stamina. Reck. Finally an advantage. The op catches George in rotation, leaving just CJ. He's had a heater of a map over on A. And now it's a long migration to B. And in fact, he might just save. He grabs the op of Junior. He's all the way back towards T-spawn, and it is going to be some exits for him. An interesting call, given the fact that the team could invest into the following, but the money was kind of all over the place. It does make sense, I suppose, especially given how far away he was from the situation. Reck and Stamina get the team on the board at long last. The bigger question is, can M80 string rounds together? If they can't, they'll be back to square one rather quickly.
Might as well be one. The lead for Nouns has already guaranteed them the half at the very least. It's just how much more weight can they pile on M80. It's the last buy for Nouns before they're broke, at the very least. The damage from the T side thinning that economy out quite considerably, but Carson's going full-on aggressive. He's got 2 players down Snake with him as well. Swisher gets traded out by Carson, who tries to spray more. No tracers on the A1S, but they still have a general idea of where he is. He's stuck down low. Marky joining up with him. This very aggressive posturing from both teams leading to a firefight very close to the exit of spawn. And wow, the damage onto reck by Carson there. Gonna make things a little bit easier. Uses another smoke to enable himself to creep away. As Nouns are now expecting M80 to at least try to back out somewhere, either mid or A. M80, however, content to go back on B. They have all the utility they need. A low HP Carson, which they do not know. Marky up on Snake, though, could be the thorn on their side. They try to clear out Carson first with time starting to dwindle down. The peek comes through. Marky spots out one. CJ swings up behind Marky and picks up a pair. Stamina's the last alive with nothing he can do. Unlucky for Stamina here as the time dwindles into the 30-second mark. He's running in, caught from behind by Carson, then Junior finishes the job. And it's not Nouns who go back to square one economically. It's M80 who have yet another round isolated against them.
Yep. No bomb plant again. Adds insult to injury, prevents further hamstrings, I should say, that economy. And they'll try to do something. We've seen how this can blow up in their faces. They have actually better utility and better investment than I would have expected. 4 AKs, a Galil, decent enough utility for an execute. Duels towards the middle, though, happily taken by Nouns. 1 for 1. CJ finds one, Malbs a trade, but Marky, it's his turn at bat. He'll drop Malbs in kind from Cat. Advantage secured, but narrowly for Nouns, as Marky and Carson are both low. M80 making the right read. They know A is likely a compromised defense. They'll lurk out. They have to be worried about Donut. Marky, another. This time on to Swisher. And even if they get this bomb plant, it's still a long way to go to get back into this round.
A very long way to get back in. They're down 2 men, although Carson and Marky are low. George and Junior are still alive. Junior's given the op over to Marky, who has the least amount of health rather. Marky goes out first. There's the trade from Carson. Only Stamina, who's now revealed his position in Temple with those shots towards Carson in the fire. Caught by Junior. The fuse comes through. 3 stay alive. 9-1 the lead for Nouns. This one almost a foregone conclusion, it seems, at this point, Nate.
Yes, it does. It made it look forlorn. They get map control, but at a hefty cost almost every single time.
It's not just trades, it's 2 for 1 in the favor of Nouns consistently.
Even when they try to go for an outright take at the start of the round, they get stymied. Literally just forced to sit outside B main for what was a solid minute the round before last. It's just one of many examples. Another buy for M80. Thanks to that bomb plant, we got AKs across the board. Def does start things off right, finally on the board, actually. Coach finding one. George, though, to take up his teammate's stead, could find a trade rather quickly. Flashed in, actually beheaded from behind instead by Malbs. Finally, the aggression getting called out. Carson, only good for 1. Good tag from Malbs to assist his teammate. Advantage remains with this offensive now. CJ trying to chip away at the advantage built, but still, Nouns find themselves on a rare back foot in round number 11. I say that, the off chimes in onto Stamina and gets away. Nouns always able to make a round despite the stacked odds.
Yeah, Junior's hitting everything. You peek into him, he's got you dead to rights. CJ's been hitting heads and hitting sprays. Def now trying to creep close to Junior. Around that smoke, the fade will determine who wins and who doesn't. Def goes back to Donut. The smoke fades in. Junior misses the shot. Now it's up to CJ in the 1v2. Coming in through Donut. Spotted by reck. And now a second round at long last for M80. Their best case scenario 3 on the board is far from good. M80 need something, and they need it bad. A third round gives them some wiggle room, especially if they can convert a pistol. But does not look promising. It was an 8-4 half on Mirage, but this one on Ancient just seems so much more favoring Nouns. The way that which Nouns have won these rounds, Nate, a lot of times is just individual brilliance and the suffocating aggression that forces M80 into the proverbial vacuum of lack of space.
Yeah, I think Nouns have been a long-standing Ancient team, even back to the first time Cynic was on the team, not the second. A long-standing team on this map, so it makes sense that they are very fluent on it, very comfortable on it. Reck finds a second though, and things are just going the way of M80. 2 for him in the round, a third for Malbs means that Carson and Junior are 2 players on islands alone in this final round first half. No reason to save. Also, no real horse in this race. That nade, instead of pop the smoke, is not going to go for the stop on the plant. Carson will finally unseat 1, but Junior is the one to do the heavy lifting. 2 more on the op. Reck behind the smoke could get caught as it fades. Carson in towards cave. Might have Swisher. No. Swisher reasserts a tenuous advantage. Reck on the flank finds the final. And M80 stem the bleeding. Can they come back? We'll see after the break.
An astounding 9-3 lead for Nouns as we head to half number 2 of the second best of 1 between M80 and Nouns. Pogs and Pineapple Phillips on the call here tonight. And CJ, Junior, Marky, Carson, everyone on Nouns firing on all cylinders. Now it's Swisher's turn to try and turn the table. However, Marky and Junior, 2 for Marky, 1 for Junior. George on the jumping Glock have just destroyed and demolished whatever semblance of a round M80 had put in play for this pistol. Marky's waiting for the last, but it's Junior to cap it off. A flurry of frags on the aggression, and as soon as the round begins, Nouns run away for double digits and a 7-round lead.
I like the gusto from M80. I really do. They got aggressive. They tried to play their own game. They tried to take it to their adversaries in spite of an overwhelmingly disappointing first half. But it blows up in their faces in a spectacular fashion. Only getting a single kill on the dualies to start things off for Swisher. Nothing else goes their way. 10-3. Momentum. At this point, M80, they're going to save, but they're running out of space. It's going to be 11-3. And from there, it's only 2 rounds for Nouns to close it out. The Zeus's for Swisher and Def are interesting. I'll give it that. But they're on B, and the plays towards A. Free bomb plant already here. Now the Zeus's are going to be far more unwieldy in the retake.
There's no reason to save here for M80. They'll throw bodies at the problem and hope it works. But this one could get a little awkward here. Now, everything works out well for the Nouns. Swisher is just looking for a cheeky frag with the Zeus.
It recharges, you know.
It does recharge. But if he gets a rifle, he's probably going to pull that out instead.
He's not going to get to. They're all here.
No, they're all here.
He's going to get a kill, if that.
Nope. Well,
sad.
That round ended pretty much as you could expect.
Yeah, only the MAC-10 going down. Smooth sailing for Nouns. And then M80, do or die, sink or swim. Will they prolong the inevitable like they did on the first map in the first best of one? Or will they let the ship sink quickly? That's what it feels like at this point. An unenviable spot to be. 4 M4s of Hamas, lackluster utility, and no kit for a retake. Nouns, no nonsense, straight towards B is the call. All 5 are here, bottom snake. And assuming they find the pick, they should quickly take the site as well.
Well, Junior takes a lot of damage on that first engagement. Malbs finally drops, but Def and Swisher answer back with a swift double in response. George peeks on through, uses the smoke as cover. Swisher very low as well, right side cube. Carson the double dink onto Reck. George burns Swisher to a crisp. And Stamina in a 1vx again. The analyst has been in these unenviable situations multiple times throughout the course of this series. And he finds himself there again, a flashbang onto his position, the bomb ticking away. No kit in his possession, no utility either. However you want to pronounce it, that's a potato, Caribbean. And he's dead regardless of your pronunciation of that word. Map and a match point for the Nouns again. 9 of them to be exact. And a destitute M80 on the opposition side.
Scrape the bottom of the barrel. Use the barrel, honestly. That's where we're
Honestly, using the barrel might be better than what they have.
Really might be. MP9s, a quartet of them, and a single solitary deagle from Malbs. Good utility. No kit. And Marky out middle with a MAC-10. Looking to harvest a bit. It's Junior instead to do the harvesting. 1. Not quite a second yet, but he's still kicking. George instead will find the second round on the wreck. MP9 of Swisher belabored, but does get across the line. CJ, however, continues inroads towards A, and Junior, while he will fall, it is still anybody's round. Good flash, though, for George to peak. Timing, though, not quite in his favor. Molotovs exchange towards Donut. CJ will fall back towards CT, but he's caught. Malbs finds them both, in fact. He drops the player back towards Temple and the second towards the Russian, towards A main. They do stay alive, M80. It's a chaotic round, a round that they managed to make the SMGs work in, but only just. That bomb plant, the rounds prior that were won, ensure that Nouns will not let off the gas. They'll have another investment going forward.
It's a very long road back in for M80. They'll shuffle around some weapons. As Nouns will debate an op for Junior. T-side Ancient. It's a pretty tough side to op on. Junior will go for it. Most of his successes in the previous half were watching people walk into his crosshair. I don't think he'll be that lucky this time. He's going to have to go take the offensive himself. Take initiative. He'll jump up for the BQ pick. Nobody there. Triple stack over here from M80, though. The double up in cave, and Marquis will open things up as he gets flashed into sight. Def as well spotted in the caves, but he will win that fight. Flashed and aggressed upon by CJ, however, on the rotation. Stamina spotted and not quite yet removed. They still do have Swisher back cave as well. He finally makes his move, but Carson's on the track for him as the bomb goes down. Stamina drops George in the meantime. Flashback for Swisher to buy a little more time. Bomb planted for Junior. Carson takes down Swisher from the backstab. And as we are on the eve of the Ides of March, Carson pulls off the Brutus. The bomb being defused. Carson swings for one. He needs to spray. He's running and praying. Stamina might have another ninja. The Glock is out. And Nouns clinch it with Carson. The backstab from Cave. And the Glock desperation to seal the deal. Carson, another great performance from Nouns, finishing up on a very strong night for the in-game leader. And Nouns overall take this series in dominant fashion. Mirage, very close back and forth, but Ancient, a completely different story. And honestly, more what I was expecting, seeing the roster situation for M80.